Well, all right, folks. Hello, friends. Welcome to Double Cross episode 13. Lucky number 13. I am your host, Dan, at 2 inches short from the internet. This is my esteemed co-host, Dave, at Golf and Jokes, also from the internet. If you don't follow us on social media, get on it. The gram, Twitter, Dave's on TikTok. Who knew? We're available YouTube, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, anywhere podcasts are sold. Thank you to all who have subscribed. Say it every week. We really appreciate the support. Subscribes, ratings, reviews, likes, all that jazz. Super helpful. We appreciate it. It also helps us to know that you guys like what we're doing. So support us. It's good. Dave, checking in with you. How have you been, buddy? Fatherhood and all?
Yeah, been good, man. Day by day, getting more adjusted to, less sleep and all that, but it's been good.
Yeah, plenty of time to sleep. Plenty of time to sleep down the road.
Sure.
Well, getting into it. Getting a golf in this week.
Yeah, I played on Thursday. A buddy of mine's a member at a private club, so he took me out. It was nice, really nice course. It's actually somewhere where I may potentially join next season, depending on price and all that, but we'll see.
Good.
What about you? Did you get out?
Oh yeah. I actually did. I too played a private club, country club
Nice.
this week, and it was fucking fantastic. It was pretty much like heaven.
They usually are.
It was pretty pristine. Food was great. Drinks were cold. I mean, buddy took me out. Can't thank the dude enough. I mean, it was a blast. I mean, kicked my ass, but it was fun to play some golf. I actually walked, dude. He texted me in the morning. He's like, yeah. He's like, dude, it's gonna be walking only today, because we got a bunch of rain out here. And so I was like,
wait, I have a question. If it wasn't like rain and all that, does he get free carts? Because my buddy has to pay for carts, and even though he's a member and all that. I was always under the impression that if you're a member, carts are included, but I guess there's a lot of places that you got to pay.
Yeah, I don't know whether that's included in his costs or whether it is a la carte. I know that's the back end of things. I'm just talking strictly from the superficial point of view of being invited to a club. But yeah, you can't thank the dude enough. I mean, I'm sure you feel, everybody feels the same way. But I did walk, took a push cart, which I haven't done that since I was maybe 10 years old. I have no idea. I took one of those click gears out, and might have to look into something like that, because Dave, I gotta be honest with you.
They're good.
I haven't walked around of golf maybe in 2 years. 2.5, 3 years.
Yeah, same.
I don't know, somewhere around there, dude. By 12, I was gassed. I couldn't make it up the freaking hill, but goes to show you, we should probably start walking. I would mainly take a cart if I do play golf, which is rare.
My feet were destroyed. I don't know if it's part of my golf shoes aren't the most comfortable, I guess, and just haven't walked in so long, my feet were destroyed by end of the night.
Probably a combination of both. I know I sat down, in the lounge, get some food. We were watching, which we'll get to, this Travelers Championship, which was an epic playoff. But we sit down right when we're watching this kind of unfold. But we're sitting there, relaxing, just kicking it. I mean, it's just a different. It's just a lifestyle thing, man. It's pretty great. But yeah, the walk itself, though, Dave, I thought was I enjoyed the time between shots more than I typically would, because when you get to it in a cart, you're right there, So yeah. I don't know. I'm gonna definitely invest in walking more.
I like it. I love walking. Obviously, the rounds meet, a bit longer, but especially if you play like in the evening when I did. It's just super calm. It's nice. It's super relaxing. I love it.
Yeah, man. So yeah, that I mean, so yeah, it's a good week when we gotta get a chance to scope out some new potential playgrounds for the future, and kind of just, it's public golf is nice, but if you have a chance to get out to a country club,
It
highly
is,
recommend it.
but booking these tee times now, it just makes it just turned right off of public golf.
Yeah, well, it definitely
I don't know how tee times are for you guys over there, but over here it's a problem.
It's tough to get. Well,
unless you're calling as soon as they open the lines, which is like 7 days advance booking, some places 2 weeks, just depends. Unless you're calling like 6 a.m. that morning, 2 weeks in advance or whatever it is, good luck getting the time you want.
Tough.
Or at all, yeah.
Tough. You sneak out midweek? Well, you've been playing on like a Thursday, right? Or it was a weekend the last week, I think. But
yeah, whatever. I mean, I was off for 2 weeks, and then this week I'm back at work, or I was back at work last week, and I went in the evening after work. So
got it. Yeah. Well, yeah. Good luck, getting those tee times. Hopefully, y'all are trying to or successful getting those tee times, because it's playing golf is fun. Who knew? We should try to get out more if our schedules allow for it. But we do play a different game than one that we're going to talk about right now, which is we're going to get into this week on tour with the Travelers Championship. We're going to do a quick recap of my fifth major in Cromwell, Connecticut. We had an epic playoff, 8 holes, Harris English versus Kramer Hickok, which Hickok had to birdie his 18th hole, right, to get into the playoff. This guy Hickok has never won. Harris English has won this year already, right?
Yeah.
So
he's been knocking at the door the last month.
Yeah, he's just a cool cat, man.
Yeah.
So Harris English, they both finish at 13 under par. They play the playoff format, which we'll get into in a little bit, but they played 8 holes. It was like 18, 17, 18, 17, 18, 17, blah, 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 18, 18, 18. And it was long. It was tedious. I mean, we were just talking about walking. These guys walked 72 holes plus, so 18 today plus the 8 on top of that. Man, I wouldn't have made it. I don't know. I know someone else is carrying their clubs, but yeah, so good for Harris English. I mean, did you see his putter grip after the round by any chance? He has a putter grip. Obviously I'm joking because he didn't just wear out the thing during 8 holes playoff, right? But this thing was torn up, like torn. I mean, I don't know whether it's got to be a feel. I'm not sure, but
probably a feel.
It's got to be a feel. But anyways, yeah, it was super. I mean, it was just, shout out to the guys over at the par train, because it was a par train for 7 holes, right? It was nothing spectacular. If they both missed,
which is surprising, because I mean the 18th hole isn't that tough a hole. It is a birdie hole for the most part.
Well, I mean, you got to hit the fairway. You got to hit the fairway.
You do usually.
But it was a lot of golf. And I mean, I even saw the standard bearer. They had to substitute him out because like he couldn't keep up, and like they had to sub a new one in. But yeah, we saw Harris English. I mean, he hit it in tight to I mean, basically beat Hickok, who made some ridiculous putts. I mean, this kid, I mean, I think I saw him on Jordan Spieth's bag at one point. I know
10 years ago or
Texas.
something.
He's got some like Texas, like he went to Texas, right? He's a Texas dude, right? Seems like he's gonna have some success out here. And winning's hard. I mean, we saw Bubba Watson show you. I mean, he's a 3-time champ at
he choked near the end,
and he goes six over in the last 5. But yeah, Dave, we'll get to Bubba in a second. I want to get to the playoff format and like how playoff formats really should play out. Like, who's deciding who's doing what? Because they have an option of playing the 15th hole, which is a drivable par 4, which is a risk reward. Awesome, would make for some fireworks.
Yeah.
Don't even sniff it. Instead, they go to 17, which is not that hard of a hole for these guys. It's a hard hole for me, you, and everyone who's listening, because you're basically dead on the left with a fairway bunker and rough that's sloping like really hard, and then also there's water down the whole right side. So like for us, yes, but for them, it's a hybrid 3-wood, whatever you're gonna 7-wood, whatever you're gonna hit out to the middle of the fairway. I mean, there wasn't much variation here. So like, what do we do? I mean, granted, this is not the longest playoff. I think the longest was 11 holes. But what do we do?
Was it 11 or was it 8? I have a feeling.
I know 11 holes is the record for the longest.
Yeah, okay. I was under the impression that this tied the longest, but I guess I saw that wrong.
But well, I mean, I could be right too. Who knows? But we do know that that this came down to, it was a test of attrition. I'm not gonna. I'm thinking we gotta maybe switch up, at least, for the travelers, have like a novelty hole. Like, I don't necessarily know if that's the best idea, but if you have the umbrella and they have that charity challenge, you hit to the umbrella. I don't know.
I don't know about that. But I mean, they should definitely switch it up. I'm not a fan of playing the same hole over and over and over. They got to throw
like at this course, they got to throw 15 in it. Like I didn't understand why they, but like, is it the tournament committee? It's got to be, right? I mean, and is there any way that we can make it more exciting?
Well,
or is that exciting?
Adding in 15 would definitely, make it more exciting.
So do you think we should just find the best holes on the course and those are the playoff holes, like sudden death?
I mean, I get why you can, just because of logistics and all that, but I don't know. I mean, 15, I don't see why they couldn't. It's not. I mean, I guess for the fans, right? All the fans are gone at that point. Then you got to get them back out there.
I guess that does make sense. I mean, are you a fan of sudden death, or do you like an aggregate?
I like aggregate. I like aggregate. To me, like aggregate just shows the better player that day. Sudden death, all it takes is one good hole. I get it, sudden death, but I prefer an aggregate.
What, 2 or 3 holes?
I like 3 holes.
What's 2?
I
do too. It's like, if you can hang in there for 3 more holes, you deserve to win, not Spieth holds a bunker shot and you automatically lose or something like that. I mean, we know the different majors have different playoff formats, and they have it's all very well and good. My personal favorite probably is the aggregate as well. But if you're gonna do like a sudden death, like, you gotta make it the most exciting hole on the course, and I know it's got to be logistics. I get it, but they're not far from each other when you think about it, especially at TPC River Highlands, even. So I don't know, man. I don't know what the answer is. I'm sure everyone's got an opinion on it. But I do know that, even though it was the same hole, it was really exciting. I mean, because when Kramer, who the crowd was just loving, I don't know like what happened, but he seemed to be the heavy favorite.
And you would think it's Bubba, but yeah, it was Bubba for sure. But yeah, I also heard a lot of cheers for
and when he putted it almost off the green on like the second to last playoff hole, and then drained it from like 15 feet, like that was wild. I also saw Sam Burns is obviously has some, they're friends or something's going on there. He was like being interviewed while it's happening. He's like, it's actually be easier to be playing than to be watching that. So, I mean, pretty wild. Why don't we get into again, congrats Harris English. Let's get into our locks review. Dave, your winner was not
even close. Missed the cut.
Not Harris English.
Again. Ricky, come on, Ricky.
Oh, Rick. Rick,
Back.
EDR. Come on
now. Back to playing shit golf.
We were talking whether he's in the Open or not. Do we know that? Yet?
I want to say no.
Yeah, I don't know. I know,
if you're not in the U.S. Open, I doubt you'd be in the Open just a month later without posting any solid results.
But didn't he have a decent finish at the PGA?
That was a PGA, but it still didn't get him in the U.S. Open. So I feel he's still not in the Open.
I don't know, but I know it's a Royal St. George. We were just talking about it. How that could be the place where he comes alive. Who knows? Let's see.
He plays pretty well in the Open, so yeah. But
yeah, well, you got to be in the field to have a shot of winning it. I had Patrick Cantley to win. He finished T13. He kind of had it rolling, and then but yeah, it is what it is. Fade, I had Phil. Phil made the cut on the number, I believe. I didn't watch much of it, but that's what I heard. Did you hear that too?
No.
I thought he birdied the last to make the cut on the number.
I didn't even follow it, so I don't even know.
Oh no, he definitely. Oh, you got other things going on than golf. Who did you faded? Who?
I can't remember who I faded this week.
I think you faded Phil. I think you faded Phil too.
Did I? I don't think so. Yeah.
Because you didn't have a fade, then I said Phil, and you're like, "Oh, Phil's in the field." Yeah. So we'll we'll go with Phil. He made the cut, gave the fans what they wanted. Whatever. Good for him. He's going to the Open. Who knows? He could win another major there. Who knows? What we saw this week. Wanted to say, speaking about Bubba going 6 over on the last 5. Where he's won 3 times. I don't know what happened to him, but we did see
he lost his swing. He was he was missing everything.
Fighting it.
I guess to his left. He was just slicing it and and then the putter went cold and that's classic Bubba. I feel like Bubba, when he gets going off the rails, it goes off the rails.
It can go quickly. And we actually saw on Thursday, he basically snapped his driver head off the shaft mid swing. Actually checked the swing. Still made birdie. Hit the fucking fairway, man. And but thankfully the driver head didn't kill anyone, because that legitimately could happen. And then we saw Ted Scott, Bubba's caddy, trying to get the shaft out of it because you could technically replace the shaft, and they did replace it 2 holes later. Pretty wild stuff. The Bubba, that was pretty crazy, that little meltdown. Other things we saw player wise, not on the golf course. Brooksy gave an interview on ESPN and basically said that he doesn't respect someone who says, "Say it to my face," who doesn't say it to his own face. And of course he's talking about Bryson. Did you catch up on any of that?
I saw that. Yeah.
I mean, he's got a point. I mean, it might sound like an asshole, but I mean, he's got a point.
I would like to know what happened, because apparently something, apparently Bryson said something. That's what happened. And then went back on his word or something.
Well, there's some. So what I from my understanding of it, Bryson winds up. Basically, that's when they had the abs versus the, I have 4 of these, too short of a 6-pack, whatever, major trophies. And sure enough, Bryson goes over to, I think, Brooks's caddy and said, I appreciate if Brooks said it to my face. Said what he said to his face.
He went to his caddy.
Went to his caddy to say, and right. Which one Brooks has no respect for him, which is hilarious. So the Brooks Bryson saga continues on. Yeah. We continue to be intrigued.
I mean, it's going to be interesting come Ryder Cup team, because obviously they're both on the team. They're going to be on the team. You're gonna get a lot of news and shit come out that week. It'll be good to see.
Yeah. Well, I find it hilarious that just like golf writers just like talk about like, oh, team chemistry and all, like, I mean, Europe does it differently than the United States, and so does the international squad too, right? Like that's your jam. I don't know how much you pay attention to it.
I mean, I posted the top out of the top 12 in the world or something. 10 of them are Americans, I believe. And I put somehow Team USA is still going to lose. And I showed all the rankings. And it's like, how can you lose? But you probably will lose.
Well, yeah. Well, thanks, man. Well, let's, we got to get there first. I did see they started putting up the stands, by the way. Saw some photos of it, which is going to be good, but we're going to talk about that in a
you
second.
You should win this year. Whistling Straits, home, you know, you have the best players pretty much out of the top 15 in the world. Home field. You guys got to win it.
I get should. I mean, our captain is winning majors on the Champions Tour. So, which again, down the road we'll get to. We still want to give you where are we at? Brooks, Bryson. Oh, hey, Jon Rahm won the U.S. Open. New dad tried to put his baby in the U.S. Open trophy, and he posted on his Instagram story. Had to try it. Father of the year, Dave? I don't know, man. You could be Jon Rahm. But yeah, saw a couple of things come out of videos of Jon Rahm on some restaurant patio hitting two-handed chugging out of the U.S. Open trophy, which doesn't have a name, by the way. I don't know whether you even realize that. The U.S. Open trophy does not have an actual name.
It doesn't. I didn't even know that.
No. So maybe next U.S. Open we can have a fan vote on what the name of the U.S. Open trophy should be. But yeah, so yeah, he's two-handed. I think he's chugging beer out of it, and he just has a glowing golf ball. It's this little beautiful baby cut, and just drops the golf club like the mic, and just walks off into the sunset chugging beer. It was great to see. The baby in the trophy though, man. You're gonna have to win a U.S. Open.
We're gonna win a U.S. Open first. Which, right now is not looking good. I'll tell you that.
No, not right now. But hey, that's what we saw with Jon Rahm. Wanted to get into some actual professional news that came out. That the PGA Tour seems to be banning. They'll be banning greens books come next season. For those of you who don't know, greens books are those things that basically every player looks at any other tournament besides the Masters because they're illegal there. Basically giving players the percent slopes of every inch of the green, which takes most of the feel out of it, creates numbers, takes skill.
So what, you just basically got to go and memorize it before each round?
I mean, you can do that.
Right.
Or you can putt like a normal, person was intended to putt, which was using your senses to.
I mean, there's going to be players that have their notes and all that. They're going to be obviously just looking at them before each round.
We're going to have to check Bryson's yardage book before he goes out. I mean, there's going to be some, because this is like it seems like anything Bryson does, it gets taken away from him, like some big baby man child, and
honestly, probably next it'll be the ball,
the ball or the arm lock putter, one or the other.
Yeah. So yeah, pretty much everything he does.
So if you notice, Bryson struggles on the greens at Augusta, which we've discussed, because greens books aren't allowed. And he just putts by numbers. Like painting by numbers, like that's his equivalent of putting by numbers.
Phil too is another one who wasn't too happy.
Yeah. Phil knows how to putt though. I'm not super concerned about Phil. But I mean, I think it's going to speed things up. And I think that players are actually relying on these to help them in ways that you really it's kind of borderline, I don't want to say cheating, but like being it ruled out, I guess it is kind of cheating, right?
They have just so much information at their disposal these days. Just play golf,
Yeah,
fucking hit the shots, read the greens, and
yeah. I agree, man. I think it's gonna be interesting to see what happens, especially with pace of play with people with guys who having to actually reputt.
It should speed up.
Again, this was like apparently it was a quote unquote overwhelming decision by the players advisory board to outrule them, basically outlaw these greens books. And so we're gonna see what happens, how that shakes out, because some players are not going to be happy and some players are gonna probably wind up potentially in better spots because that skill comes back. So we'll see about that. And then we actually just mentioned the British Open and Open Championship, what have you. I don't want to get crucified for that. So I just say, however you say British Open, which was the topic we should probably end up talking about. The Open Championship, the Open Championship.
You know what? For the longest time, I was always British Open, but now last few years, I've settled on the Open.
Yeah, I went through a phase of being like, oh, it's the Open. I just called the British Open. But so we were talking about COVID, right? So they have restrictions out in
crazy restrictions apparently.
Yeah. So we're looking at where are we looking at? We're looking at these like Open. Where is Royal St. George's? Is it in England?
I have no idea.
I think we're gonna look that up real quick.
Yeah,
don't hold us.
All I know is there's a lot of players apparently, according to this article, that are debating even not going just because these restrictions are insane.
So they don't need a quarantine apparently, but they do need to. It is in England, by the way. I wasn't making that up. They're not allowed to go out to restaurants, bars. They're not allowed to like mingle with people. They have to take tests 72 hours in advance. They have to, if they're around someone with it, they're automatically DQ'd. Like
DQ'd, yeah.
There's some
ridiculous.
It's going to be interesting what happens. And yeah, you were saying, Dave, that there are some players who are, I mean, you remember, like, that's why players used to not go over to the Open Championship, British Open, wouldn't go over across the pond because they like it wasn't worth is this worth it?
No, it's really not worth it.
So yeah, well, I don't know, man. That's
we'll see. It'll be interesting to see in the next couple of weeks what comes out.
Yeah. So yeah, stay tuned to that aspect of news, because I mean, if we have like a 6-shot lead and a WD on the 54, after 54 holes, like who knows what the fuck's gonna happen. So other tour news. Did you hear that Victor Hovland won on the European Tour? He's the first Norwegian born player to win on the European Tour. And speaking about Euro Tour, Irish Open is this week. Then we go into the Scottish Open and then the British Open. Yeah. And so it's a great time to watch golf in the morning. Some call it coffee golf. Some
the best.
Just watch golf in the morning, but it's a beautiful thing. You got your whole rest of the day planned out ahead of you. Being a little bit behind now, I'm in Mountain Standard Time. It's an interesting debate whether you want to stay up or you want to wake up really early.
I wake up. Like, well, who knows? Maybe now I'll be staying
Well, you
up.
Might just be up 72 straight hours, who knows? But yeah, so exciting time in the world of links golf, which something we're gonna hit on in probably around the maybe the next couple of weeks. We'll talk about some links golf. Then Champions Tour. Just want to shout out Steve Stricker. We mentioned him earlier. Ryder Cup captain, wins the senior players, seniors players.
Playing so well at
so
50,
good,
whatever he is.
So good. Just so makes it so simple. Just simplifies everything.
Easy swing, great short game. So
fantastic. And then on the LPGA Tour, you had the Women's PGA Championship, and Nelly Korda wins that. She made a crazy amount of birdies. I think it was like 38 birdies out of 77 holes, like 38 birdies, man. I need a whole 3 years to maybe get there.
Yeah.
4, 5, 6 years. I don't even know. That's wild. But good for Nelly Korda, part of the Korda sisters situation. And I mean, did you see her swing? It is
nice,
silky smooth. So yeah, good on them. Keep moving along, and we go into this week on the PGA Tour. We got the Rocket Mortgage Classic. It's Detroit Golf Club, Detroit, Michigan. Donald Ross design. Just you got your standard Golf Channel, CBS. Bryson is the defending champ. She won it at 23 under par. It apparently has been raining out there, and it's going to be wet, and there's a bunch of reachable par fives, and according to ShotLink, Dave, did you know this? It's the flattest course on the PGA Tour.
Oh wow, didn't know that.
Yeah, so it bodes well for someone who hits at 390 yards. Like we were saying, Bryson won it last year at 23 under. Nate Lashley, if you remember that, it was a pretty feel-good story. Won at 21 under. Expect a birdie fest. It's going to be hilarious. Top players in the field. We got Bryson, like I was saying, Patrick Reed, Webb Simpson, Hideki Matsuyama, Jason Kokrak, who we've been pretty high on. You just have been throwing out that name. I remember we talked about locks one time, and you were like, "Hey, this guy." Will Zalatoris, Phil. Will Zalatoris still doesn't have PGA Tour membership, and
Phil's
he's like,
playing again, eh?
Phil's playing again, but Will Zalatoris is still not a member, and he's 29th in the world right now. Pretty wild.
Yeah.
Phil, Joaquin, Garrick Higo, who I will keep talking about this kid because just keep watching him. Max Homa, Kevin Kisner, Gary Woodland, Jason Day, Ricky Fowler, Kramer Hickok,
not bad.
Bubba. So, decent fields. I mean, like we said, if you don't like low scores, you're not going to like this week. Dave, do you have a lock? Do you have for your winner?
I do. You mentioned it. I'm going to go with my boy, Jason Kokrak.
See that, folks? We did not discuss this prior. We actually try not talking about this prior to it because we want to be surprised. But Jason Kokrak, love his chances. Hits it a country mile.
That's why I think the course can suit his game pretty well. Obviously he's playing pretty good, so I like his chances.
It's a fair pick, man. I have decided to go chalk this week.
Bryson.
I hate to say it, but I'm going to take Bryson to defend.
Horses for courses, right?
Hard not to pick someone who can just bomb it, and if he gets the putter going, I just don't. I don't. I'm not happy about it. I'm not like sitting and being like, God, I hope he wins. I just think he's going to win. That's how betting works, though. You got to take emotion out of it.
Yeah,
I don't. So. Anywho, fade. Who you fading? Who's not making the cut?
I think I'm going to go with Phil. Now he wasn't my original fade, but now I know he's in the field. I'm like, how many terms this guy got to play? He's old now. He plays every week. He's old. Which I don't know why. So yeah, I think he's gonna gas out after. Well, he probably already is, but I think I don't like his chances. Has he played here before? He probably doesn't even know the course.
I don't know if he's played here. I mean, this tournament's been 2 years old.
Yeah, so. I don't see Phil playing in this event in the past, so I don't know. Yeah, I'm gonna fade him.
3 weeks in a row. Drum roll, please. Yes.
Plus, he usually plays the week before the Open. He usually plays the Scottish. So I'm sure he'll be taking next week off. Or no, next week is the Scottish, isn't it?
Next week is Scottish. So is he playing 5 in a row? I don't know. I don't know about that. He might not be playing the Scottish.
Because he usually does.
Yeah.
So I'd be 5 in a row.
I hear you. I see you. I have no idea what his schedule is going to be. But while we're on the subject of Phil, I'm 100% fading Phil in Detroit. I don't care. I mean, you got it for all the reasons Dave said. I mean, this guy, it's just incredible to think that, this is his third week in a row, right? After the PGA. After the US Open?
US Open, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure I saw actually somewhere where it'd be 5 in a row. So I'm pretty sure he's gonna play next week, Scottish Open and then the Open.
If you got it, flaunt it, right? He's playing as who knows? He can make it happen. Phil Mickelson, man, 51-year-old Phil Mickelson. We're talking about whether or not he's gonna make the cut after playing 5 weeks in a row, basically. Pretty insane. We're talking about that. But hey, I don't know. It's one of those things where Phil will tell you he would win again, or he'll never win again, or he'll win again. He doesn't know. The man is in the moment. It's beautiful. But yeah, man. So just real quick. Upcoming schedule. We got this week Detroit and then we got the John Deere Quad Cities. And then we got the Open, British Open. And so golf is still exciting. It's July, July 4th in the United States. Well, July 4th everywhere, but July 4th in the United States on Sunday, right? I think that's the case. What a wild
Sunday.
I think this this tournament finishes on the 4th of July. So, happy 4th of July, Dave. I don't think that applies much
for
to
us.
You,
it's we have Canada Day on Thursday.
Yeah. Okay, good. Celebrate Canada Day. We're just celebrating mode. Feeling good about summer. It is summer, right? It is summer. Yeah, we're in summer. It's almost July. Anywho, that was a fun little chat, Dave. I think we pretty much covered everything.
I think so.
Yeah, feeling good, man. We'll see what happens this week in Detroit. Hell of a finish. 8 holes, 8-hole playoff. Doesn't happen often. Might not want it to happen too often, but good for Harris English with that victory. Good for all those major
seems like
champions.
a good guy. He's a good dude.
Yeah, it seems. He's a Georgia Bulldog, I believe. I think that's good man. Anywho, that also got to shout out the Travelers. Like I said, my 5th major, love that place. Hosts a great tournament. I remember I mentioned to you it has a knack for some pretty great finishes, Dave. I said that I think last episode. Delivered again. Gotta get 15 in the rotation. Again, the short par 4. But anywho, let's wrap this up, Dave. This was fun. I'm looking forward to this week. Good luck again on your whole entire world, life perspective, fatherhood perspective. I want to hear. We got to get you a US Open trophy, win the US Open, put a baby in it. That's what we got to do.
Don't think that's in the cards.
No, not right now. Anyway, man, hey, guys, thanks for hanging with us. And again, catch us YouTube, Spotify, Apple Podcasts. Follow us on Instagram, Twitter. I'm Dan at Into Short. This is Dave at Golf and Jokes. Dave, you got any last parting words? You good?
No, I'm good.
Good, man. Well, everybody, you have just been double crossed. We are out. Peace.